offense, but defensively, you guys have tried to pack the paint a lot, and I'm just curious how you think that's going, and how so. What Coach Sadler's talking about? With all that?
We just feel like the way we're built right now, without a lot of rim protection behind, we have to try to pack it in. And a couple of the threes that we've given up lately, they've been things that we can control. A couple going out close out with our hand down. You got to have a high hand closeout, even if they're struggling shooting. We allowed that to happen last game with a couple guys that had not been shooting the ball well, but we gave them confidence by not closing out with the urgency that we needed to. On our double teams, which I thought we did a good job of, we gave up 2 strong side threes. That can't happen. That's the easiest rotation there is, and we had 2 times where we closed out. We were there, but again, the hand wasn't high. 3 of them in transition, 2 offensive rebound kickouts. Those are the ones that hurt you when you don't get back and you go underneath Cassius on one. We don't have communication on one. The Gabe Brown hit in the left wing. So those are things we look at and talk about and try to eliminate. But, a lot of times it's not in the pack-in. We had one where we had what we call two-way help. The guy was at the elbow, penetration came, had to stunt the nail, and then not able to get back out. So do your work early, closing out with urgency with a high hand.
What stands out about Brad Underwood's style of play, especially with that press defense?
Yeah, they just, the thing that has always stood out about Brad's team is just the pressure that they play with, and it's a team that's playing with so much confidence right now. The guards that they have, especially with Griffin coming off the bench, playing with a ton of confidence with the way he's shooting the ball, and then those other 3 guys that start, their ability to get into the paint and make plays. And then you got Kofi and the big guys that can just dominate the paint in there and have a huge size advantage on us. So, just have to do the best job we can. Try to help off the guys, that are not shooting the ball well, even though that stung us. This season, but just try to play the percentages on a few of their players.
Talk to the guys all about playing spoiler or anything like that, or is that something?
No, we just talk about going out and playing hard. Again, I looked at that first half. I think we've given up 3s in the last shot of the half, last 3 games. A couple of them were crazy shots, but we've been right there, and we've had opportunities. But then we have that lull that seems to happen every second half. And last game, that was a 7-point game with 8 minutes left. We still had a chance. We had a wide open 3 to cut it to 4. And then they hit a 3, get a turnover, hit another 3. Now it's 13, and we're done. That's when we really hang our heads and come down and get away from ourselves on the offensive end. So, hopefully one game we'll be able to finish our easy ones. You have to be able to convert when you have those shots at the rim and you have open 3s. Those are shots that are very important. Look at our last 5 games. Our percentages have been very poor from all over the floor, not just 3-pointers, but in the paint. So, just continue to try to trust, go out there and play together and play a complete 40-minute game. It's going to be our only chance to have a win.
What have you tried to do in the locker room at halftime?
I've tried everything.
I'm just curious what you've tried to do.
I've kicked the table, I've jumped them, I've hugged them. We watch a little film edit. We show positives, we show negatives. I've tried everything.
Yeah.
And I wish one of them I could say worked better than another, but obviously second halves have been the issue for us. And again, it seems to be when we miss an easy one or we don't finish a play. It just affects our energy going back the other direction, and then we dig a 10, 12-point hole, and now we start chasing rebounds. So it's it's all those little things that we continue to try to harp on and continue to try to get better at. But we got to go out and do it. That's the bottom line.
I'm curious what you feel like you're getting from Kevin starting. Obviously, he spreads the floor. But just what do you feel like you're getting from him?
Well, yeah, Kevin. Obviously he's had his struggles. You look at the last 5 games with percentages, but he's not the only one. We've had a lot of guys that we're shooting at a pretty respectable clip that have really gone down the last 5 games, including Kevin. But he's still coming in here, getting a lot of extra work in. We shot half an hour before practice today, just he and I in the gym, because he does have an advantage out there with the size of the 5s in this league. His advantage is getting out in the top of the floor and hopefully knocking out shots, but also being able to make a play. It's what he has to do. At that position with the skill advantage that he has on a lot of the players, because he's obviously given up a ton of size. We've got to run different double teams based on the experience of our 2 freshmen and the size of our freshmen. So we have to try to get creative on some different coverages. But Kevin's advantage a lot of times with these guys is on the perimeter. And he, in the wins that we had and the close games that we had, he had great games. So, you know, that's a big part of our offense when he's out there hitting shots and making plays.
There's been some momentum in the last week or so when it comes to the NCAA looking at that one-time penalty-free transfer. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think it makes sense one way or another. To either everybody's able to play or everybody has to sit. But, you know, to take out the decision-making on, you know, who's granted the waiver and who's not. Because a lot of this cases looks like, you know, the same. Some guys get it, some guys don't. So I think to make the rule consistent one way or the other, I think makes sense.
This is super hypothetical, but would it change the way you think about sit-outs? You know what I mean? Like, obviously you guys like transfers and sitting out for
Yeah.
and developing.
Yeah.
Would it change at all, do you think?
Yeah, that is hypothetical.
Okay.
Amy Williams was asked about it Friday, and she said it might do to like women's basketball, maybe college football, what the one-and-done thing is done with men's college basketball in the sense that you're building a team year by year instead of building a program. Have you gotten that sense? Do you think that's a potential?
You know, yeah, I really haven't gotten that far on it, to be honest with you, because who knows if it's going to actually pass or not.
Yeah.
But, you know, if and when it does, you know, we'll all get together as a staff and figure out the best way to move forward with it. But, yeah, as far as making it a consistent rule, again, I do think that makes sense.
Anything else for Coach?
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Coach.